So one of the things I've been thinking about is how to help people improve their Copperplate script. And when I practice, one of the things I do when I'm practicing is I write out a block of text. Lots of people practice writing their names or writing the names of friends. So I've just opened the Bible to Psalm 64. And the first thing I've done is I've marked off where I'm going to write. So I find marking this off really helps you to sort of work out where you're going to put the letters. That way you don't have to go looking for the lines. Now, because I'm filming, my page is static. Normally, I move the page across as I get to the end of the page. And I hope this is also allowing you to see the rhythm at which I'm writing. So this is a Hunt 22B nib I'm using. I've used this nib for quite some time, so it's sort of breaking up a little bit. I do need to replace it. So one of the things you'll notice in my writing is my letters tend to be a little bit narrower. Now, this is something that I put forward in my manual on Copperplate script. I use a different principle for writing the script and for spacing the letters. So for instance, you can see all of my lines are on that 55. So if we take this ligature, the ligature is on the 55 and the swell stroke is on the 55. And I don't come down and across, I go down and around and up. So I'm down on the 55, down on, and up on the 55. And so this naturally gives me some accuracy in my spacing, because one of the issues that lots of people have with Copperplate script is if you practice something like engrosser's or engraver script, or Spencerian script for that matter, you sometimes have a tendency to use those ligatures, those undercurves, those under and over curves, and they are not at the same angle of the script. So if you're not certain of the angle of the ligature, you're going to get inconsistencies in the spacing of the script. Now here again, you can see how regular this spacing is. But if you look at I don't want to sort of shade too much because the ink's still quite wet. So if you look at this space, you can see how that space sort of repeats itself. The other thing that I hope that you would have noticed, and if you can't remember how this worked, please go back and look at it. For the M, I go up, I come down, and I close, and I keep the nib inside of the ink, but I'm not actually touching the page. So I pull along the outside of the downstroke as I'm going up, and then I put it back down into the ink to then make this curve at the top. And I don't know if you've also noticed that I don't connect the letters in the same way. So I use something that I refer to as tangential touching. So I know where, this is a really good, so I know where that A is going to go in relation to the R. So I come out of the R and I stop there. I know the A is this wide. So I go over and down and back up and around. And when I apply pressure, the outer curve of the A, of the bowl of the A, tangentially touches the ligature of that R. So that kind of thing only really comes with a lot of practice, and practicing the letters consistently. So, as you've noticed, I'm also keeping the letters between the lines. I'm being really careful with making sure that the letters are the right heights. So just be a little bit conscious of that. I hope that's sort of given you a little bit more insight into how I write and how you might want to try approaching your writing, be it Copperplate script or modern or italic or some textualis. And I'll do some additional videos on some of the other scripts, and sort of so you can see how that rhythm works and how the spacing works as well, and how it creates that sort of consistency. The other thing that you probably weren't able to hear was the fact that I was breathing rhythmically. So I tend to exhale on the downstrokes and inhale on the upstrokes. So I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below.